I thought the presentations were fascinating, and some of them stuck in my head, but I'd rather ask the panel first. Ashish, what do you think? Which were the ones that you liked very much?
No, that way but I was a jury, so I know all of them.
Okay,
So I was
so
jury,
you are conflicted.
and so I have a conflict of interest
Okay,
in
Mr.
this.
Prasad.
But but I would say just one comment because you asked me. That's the gentleman from Assam was telling, and all the social media use that when you handle with this, and then Panda also struck a note on that, that the filtering of the content is, I mean, there's a flip side of the social media. I'm very sure coming years people will discuss more on this, how to filter the content, etc. Because the matchbox, which can bring the light, it can lit the lamp inside a dark house, it can burn that house also. So this is what is happening. If you just write something which is politically sensitive, in your own opinion, you can see the 400 Galias in that area. I mean, I have seen, actually I take pity and watch them. Somebody has written that I will not stay in this country if something takes place like that. You can see 400 Galias who is in, you know whom I am meaning, I'm not taking the name. So a Ganpit awardee. So how much Galians are they need, what language? So that is the thing, I think we should be very cautious and then filtering, etc., halabol and all these, the disclaimer and all other things should be taken. That's my comment. I mean, it is going to happen. Next 5 years we'll be discussing on that.
An absolutely stunning lineup of initiatives. It gives a lot of hope. It's lot of effort has gone into all this. How even NGOs, without a great business case, also they have just jumped into this and have started doing something. It's really amazing, and it has. I think they can take it forward with all that enthusiasm, and this election code of conduct thing. That is really useful coming from the government and working in the election space. I know it's a nightmare for the election authorities to keep track of what all these jokers are saying on all these platforms and the soap boxes they get on the eve of the elections. It's really very difficult. I have done this code of conduct job myself. I know how difficult it is. We used to even try to record them while they're actually saying all those things on the stage. It's going to be difficult. We don't intrude into them and still keep track of all the high profile dialogue that goes on the stage and and the free for all that goes on. Whatever they like, they say, and again somebody complains, and it is for the officer to say whether it is okay, not okay, and so if it's not okay, what to do, and all this really at the in the thick of the election time, when so many things have to fall in place and actually polling has to take place without much hindrance to the public, it's quite a challenge. It's a difficult effort in that space. Whatever tool that you are giving to the decision makers, I'm sure it will go a long way. And this has certain influence on the other uses it can be put to, and how, as somebody said, how we can use it in the music space where we want to just with one line you can go to the correct music item. So all those things, of course, as we go on, I think these things will really open up many possibilities. And the Alive logo is quite popular, and this augmentation has, I think, a lot of business opportunity. And I'm sure, as you have seen, that all publishers are trying to use this facility. And yes, Aksham is one thing that is going to help people in the disability space. And of course, many state governments are also working on these items. How It has, in fact, it's the impact that you can see when you have apps like when you have applications like this, that you immediately your ability to reach out to the disabled section and also address their very unique requirements. It really takes a shot in the arm, and you get to reach out to them in a manner that is satisfying, that actually answers all their requirements. And of course AP and states like Tamil Nadu, they're also doing work in this space. We have the Sadaram intervention, where we have in fact reached out to all the disabled sections and conducted tests for them and issued certificates. And this kind of keeping them online is going to be of real use, because they get to lose their certificates also, and they get questioned, and they need to support their claims. And this is going to be quite useful. And in fact, we need similar applications to address all kinds of disabilities. And it has a long way to go. We can't say that we have a right. And this IVR junction is keeping voices in the cyberspace, but to really have a kind of control, how to justify, how to actually verify them, how to vouchsafe them. Any voice can be put there, whether if it is unverified, it can do damage, quite a bit of damage. But we need to see how it can be accessed. In a way, I should confess, I have not understood how to access these voices, and I think I have to see and test this application. And I am the most something I like most is this CDOC Pune intervention, TDI LDC. I think it has umpteen possibilities. It is a national repository of linguistics, and different tools to use these languages, and it has a lot of possibilities, because we need a national repository, we need a national standard, and we need people working on this space. And as you all know, Indian languages are all related. See, they're not totally unrelated. They're totally related. In fact, it's possible to convert from one to another. It's a technological challenge, and the possibility of speech-to-speech translation. I think it has a lot of work. It will take a lot of work before it will become a reality. And we need a national institute. They are working in mission mode at present. But then if you want to maintain a national repository, that has to be there, and somebody has to maintain it. And so many languages, so many experts have to actually chair it and keep those standards, and also understand the interrelationships between languages and how to use it. And this is going to take our study of linguistics to a new level. In fact, it will make it possible for us to reach new levels in understanding and using language. I think this will have the greatest impact of all the interventions I have seen here. I think this requires the largest effort and also commitment of resources. And it is a very long-term thing to do. And this can have amazing consequences in the field of language and its use across the country. And India being a land of many languages and cultures, I think this has the largest promise to offer. And this Marathi encyclopedia, of course, it's a very good effort, and in fact, we should have one for every major language. And I think you're an example to follow. And this Sahitya .com. Assamese culture and lore is something that is lost for a long time. In fact, the mainstream culture is well documented in India. As you can see, the Sanskrit and its inspiration of all the local languages, and the renaissance and effulgence that has been really brought about in various languages in India is amazing. And I think no country can boast of such literary richness as India. And Assamese initiative, I think, is an example that can be there in every culture. I think that ICT provides for that preservation of all these inputs, and allowable, of course. We need to take activism to a new high, where people can immediately fall in tune with the requirements. India has to be a culture to boast of, a civilization to boast of, but then we have challenges, as you have seen, and we have challenges while activism is still going on. The more of the same thing keeping happening. So, this society, is it reacting to the sensibilities of the people? So activism is very much required. And Halabol has done quite something needy. Kannada.net online newspapers are very much required, and in the North Kannada space, we have one coming up. It's quite interesting. So all these initiatives will go to a new high when the mainstream properly develops. So we have to, in fact, do inclusion on the mainstream better, so that all the other related fields also tag on to that. Unfortunately, something is not happening right in the way and at the speed that is required in the inclusion space. And this is here we need some strategic perspectives. And in this sphere, I have actually brought out one strategy paper which explains why it is moving slowly, and I have what can be done to take it further in the mainstream. So this is a strategy paper on direct benefit transfer and financial inclusion, which I have placed in the public domain in the slideshare.net. I think it can be accessed easily there. And I'm really glad and thankful to Manthan that they have given us opportunity to share these initiatives here. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Prasad. I just have one comment. By looking into and studying all the projects here, the most acute need I find is that we need to look beyond English, the English language. And with so many, 5 out of the 9 presentations that we saw here talked about non-English languages, Assamese, Kannada, Marathi, the entire, that's a masterpiece project, which I'm going to be visiting, and I'm going to take 2 minutes after this session with you. It's a fascinating project. And that there is where the need of what we call inclusion, social development, etc. lies. And I'm so delighted that even though I don't understand Assamese or Kannada or Marathi yeta hai mala thoda thoda. But I still, it's really nice to see these ground up projects coming so beautifully. Last year also there were so many of these language projects that I saw. I believe this trend is going to continue, and as it must, because we cannot convert the whole world into an English language tool. While that may be the tool for business or transactions, there is equally a rich culture which we are gradually losing, not only in India but across the world. And I'm grateful to all of you for having envisaged, worked upon, and spent so much time on these projects. Thank you very much, and congratulations to Manthan once again.
Thank you. And unfortunately, we've run out of time, so we're going to quickly thank the panel members and for being here. And unfortunately, we couldn't really have the kind of discussion we were hoping to have, but we did have a very active session throughout. The Q&As were very insightful and interesting. So
I just interrupt here.
yes.
I think there is a problem with the presentations, which I had mentioned the last time also to all of them, but I think maybe the organizers need to transmit this, that we are not here to listen to who you are, why you are, etc. etc. Tell us what your impact is. We can go to your websites, read all about what you have done. There will be an About Us page. We can know all that. There is no big deal. Tell us what you have done. That way, the audience engagement and the time management will be much better. Many presentations, they were just plain recitals of what was already on the slide. We don't need that. We can see those slides, we can read, we are fairly educated. Just get on to the passion, what is driving you, what is driving these projects, what is the impact that it is creating. I think if you use this and just spend 1 minute on your presentation and open it out for questions, you will emerge much happier yourselves. And we'll be able to know much more about what you do. Thank you.
Okay, can we have Navdeep here, please? Navdeep? As a token of our appreciation, we would like to thank Mr. AVV Prasad, Mr. Gautam Chikarmane, and Mr. Ashish Sanyal. And now if we could just invite the 3 members to come in front and hand out the certificates to all the finalists. Yeah. Yeah, all 3, if you can just come in the front. First, can we have IVR Junction, please? Multimedia tool for mitigating code of conduct for Election Commission. E-Sakyam. Marathi Encyclopedia. Okay. Haitya.org. Okay, so we're having a bit of Finally, we are there. Halabol. Kannada Net. Alive. Maha News. Mahanews? Alive? Next we have Alive. GTIL. Okay. And Mahanews. We've got one certificate missing, that is TDIL. I think I'll have to get back to you on that personally, but you can please come on stage and congratulate, and we can have a photograph. We can have a photograph. In case I've missed out any names, it's purely because the certificates are not here. And now could I request everyone who's made the presentation to come here and we'll have a group photograph. Thank you.